So the goal of this video today is to show you a compression technique that all of us probably have access to, but I feel like a lot of people aren't using, and it could be so helpful in allowing you to get that vocal or just sound in general that you want as far as evening out the dynamics and making things sit in the mix. Really simply, you already have access to this, but I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it. I'm going to take you through it. Okay, so right now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play this raw vocal sound. This has no compression or anything on it. It's just a raw vocal sound with a little bit of reverb, slight auto-tune. Listen to this close.
Too many days I feel like this life is weighing heavy on me, and I know that I can only be better than I was the day before. Yeah, freedom feeling, never turning off. Yeah.
So that's a raw vocal. And my first thought with the vocal is, I would like to add some compression, like a lot of us would say. And you can even look at the actual waveform yourself and say to yourself, okay, I see big moments, I see quiet moments, and I can hear that. And I know that that is kind of working against me to get the vocal to kind of be a little bit more consistent inside the mix. So I want to add compression to kind of even out those dynamics so it has a little bit more consistency from a volume standpoint inside the song. So you think to yourself, I'm going to add compression. But what if instead of adding a compressor, we use either dynamic EQ or resonant suppression before it hits that? Why am I bringing that up? Let me say it like this. When it comes to compression, it detects things over your threshold, and then it uniformly compresses the entire sound uniformly, right, as one. So if it sees that spike of amplitude over the threshold, everything comes down 3 dB or 2 dB or whatever you set it for. But what if we take a resonant suppressor, or what if we take dynamic EQ and instead give priority to the parts of the frequency range of the sound that are peaking, so that everything else that pretty much we don't need to really compress so much actually still maintains those dynamics, still breathes. For instance, if I notice that, oh, I need compression, maybe within the vocal sound that I'm hearing, most of the poking that I'm hearing that I want to control is coming from just one general spot in the 2K or mid-range. And so if I take a dynamic EQ or resonant suppressor and just apply the effect or some compression to that one spot without touching the high end, my high end is going to stay dynamic and just consistent and probably, maintain the sound of how it feels and some of the warmth. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open up Speccraft. It's one of my favorite resonant suppressors, or dynamic EQ, whatever you want to call it. There's a ton like this. There's Oak Sound, Soothe 3, there's Waves, Curves, Equator. Use your own. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to bypass this back and forth. And what I did was I took this yellow line, right? So follow me right quick. I took this yellow line and I brought it down until I started to see a reaction from the plugin. Basically, what you're about to see is how the plugin is reacting from and compressing things and attenuating things, and it's prioritizing the loudest parts of the actual sound in the spectrum. And then I'm going to compensate for the volume I lost, about 2 dB, back and forth. So listen to this resonant suppression, or listen to it prioritizing, okay, where is the loudest parts that I see peaking in this vocal? I'm going to compress those more than I see other stuff peaking on the other stuff that's in the spectrum. Check this out before and after, and I'm going to explain why this helps so much. So without first.
Too many days I feel like this life is weighing heavy on me, and I know that I can only be better than I was the day before. Yeah, freedom feeling, never turning off. Too many days I feel like this life is weighing heavy on me, and I know that I can only be better than I was. Too many days I feel like this life is weighing heavy on me, and I know that I can only be better than I was the day before. Yeah, freedom feeling, never turning off.
So I compensated for the volume that I've lost since I'm attenuating, and you can look at the spectrum and see, it seems that the resonant suppressor or Speccraft is really giving a lot of priority to the mid-range in that kind of 1K region, where that's where it's pretty much having an abundance of energy, or what it deems as poking out more. So with that being said, now I've actually compressed that stuff, right? That is really poking out in the sound. And then I've compensated for the bottom and turned it up 2 dB. So essentially what I've done is said, hey, that mid-range stuff, let's calm that down. But then now let's turn it up a bit. Now I have a little bit more of an even and concise vocal sound within the entire scope of the song. Why does this matter? Are you trying to fix a beat or a 2-track, but you don't have the stems? Meet the 2-track surgeon. It lets you shape the vocal pocket low end with energy, soft clip, and even more right inside the stereo file. Use code HMD20 for 20% off your purchase at helpmedevvon.com. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, when I go to put on that overall compressor, right, the next compressor I put on, it's not gonna have to work so hard to give me a result that I want. Why is that? Because now that big spike that was in the 2K range is not going to just get smashed by the compressor initially because it's uniformly bringing all that stuff down. I've kind of said, hey, I'm going to take a little bit of the load of the work off of your back, and I'm going to take that one kind of frequency range that I see that you're going to react to the most, and I'm going to tame that a bit so that you can focus on more of an even sound. Follow me right quick. So right now what I'm going to do is I am going to play this without Speccraft. So I'm going to play this without the resonance suppression on. I want you to look at how the actual compressor reacts or how much gain reduction is occurring. Remember also, I've also turned the vocal up 2 dB in Speccraft. Keep that in mind. I'll explain in a second why. All I want you to do is I'm going to bypass this and play it one time without Speccraft. Then let's look at the gain reduction. It is after Speccraft. And let's see which one works harder. Okay. So without Speccraft first, with this compressor on.
Too many days I felt like this life is weighing heavy on me. And I know that I can only be better than I was the day before. Yeah, pain I'm feeling, never turning off. Yeah.
So you're seeing 8 dB of compression occurring with the R-comp. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on Speccraft. Let's see how much compression or how hard this compressor is working or how much compression occurs.
Too many days I felt like this life is weighing heavy on me. And I know that I can only be better than I was the day before. Yeah, pain I'm feeling, never turning off.
So what you'll notice is that the compressor is actually working less, or it didn't have that big spike at 8 dB of compression versus now with 7 dB of compression. So essentially what we did was this. In Speccraft, we looked at and tried to find where is the big spike of energy coming from in the frequency spectrum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find that kind of region. I'm going to even it out, do some pre-compression and kind of tame that region that is going to have the most or effect on the actual compressor that I put next. Once I attenuate that, now when I put the actual compression on, there's not going to be that big of a spike in comparison because I've already kind of cleaned that up or brought that down a bit in the previous resonance suppressor like Speccraft. So now I'm getting a vocal sound, in my opinion, that feels a bit more consistent in the sound. And also I'm not using an overall compressor that is now reacting to perhaps something that I feel like I can do something beforehand to kind of help it to not work as hard going down the line. A lot of times what I'll notice is this. I'll get a vocal, I'll listen to it, has compression and things of that nature on it, and then you slap on another compressor, which is affecting the overall sound and reacting to the overall sound as far as volume. When in turn, really what you can start thinking to yourself is there a specific frequency range in that vocal or sound that is really poking out to me that I can just attack there and thus leave everything alone that is around it on the spectrum, whether that be the high end or some of the low mids. Maybe it's not the low mids or the high end that I want to affect or want more compression on. Maybe it's just this one region that is poking out to me and making me want to get some more control on. Thus, when I put on that overall compressor, like an R-comp, like a 76, now I get more of a consistent vocal to work with in the overall compressor that is not being bombarded by some frequency range that is just has an abundance of energy. We can attack that problem beforehand before we get to an actual overall compressor. You can also try this with multi-band compression as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass Speccraft back and forth, and let's take a listen to the difference between with Speccraft and without Speccraft. One thing I'll notice is this. Yes, the vocal is a bit more dynamic without Speccraft, but as far as the consistency of how it's sitting inside the mix from the quiet stuff to the really loud stuff, I noticed that I feel like I have a more even sound in how the compression is acting also. So without first, and I'll bypass back and forth.
Too many days I felt like this life is weighing heavy on me, and I know that I can only be better than I was the day before. Yeah, pain I'm feeling, never turning off. Yeah, and I'm so exhausted, can't find a solution to my problems. Everybody around me got their own things to deal with, and I don't wanna be a burden. I did too many days I felt like this life is weighing heavy on.
As soon as I turn off the Speccraft, I noticed that the vocal on the quieter part seemed to fall a little under, and I noticed that the big spikes seem to be like big spikes. But when I have it on, I feel like I get a more concise or consistent vocal in the peaks and the lows and bringing those a little closer together. And the compressor is doing less work to accomplish the goal that I want of a more evened out dynamic sound. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about that, please let me know. But I think this is a super easy, simple technique that I think is right in front of us, and I'm just throwing it out there. If you already were doing this, good for you. If you have another way to do it, good for you. There's a million ways to do all of these things that we love so much, but I'm just throwing this out there into the ethos for people to just open some people's minds that may not have thought about this. Literally, when it comes to this, sometimes I'll just take this one yellow line, which works like a threshold, and I'll pull down until I start to get a reaction. And then I know, oh, that's where the abundance of the energy is coming from when it comes to the actual vocal sound. Now, granted, be very careful because with some resonant suppressors, there are knobs or there are parameters that allow you to give priority to certain frequency ranges. Like this in Speccraft, you have the slope, which can prioritize, do you want me to give more priority of attenuation to the high end or the mid range? Keep that in mind. For me, this feels like a more 4.5 has seemed like a very even kind of distribution of kind of compressing when it comes to energy. But just throwing it out there too, just as a little tidbit. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed that. It's your boy, Help Me Devvon. And until next time, y'all.